How's going, guys? This week's video, a bit of a different one. So for the last 6-7 years I've been using a personal beacon for emergencies, you know, stuff like that. But I've just got rid of that, and I'm going to explain why I got rid of that for one of these bad boys, Zolio, and why I chose to go with Zolio over a satellite phone. So yeah, too easy. Oh yeah, I got him. Oh, nice. So, Zolio. They are a satellite communication device. It does run off, obviously, satellites. So did the personal beacon. But the biggest reason why I went one of these is I can do two-way messaging. You know, with the personal beacon, it was pretty much like you press the button, your SOS, and you hope someone's coming. Obviously they do. But with this device, there's a little bit more to it. I've only had this now for, I think I got it about, I'm not sure, probably 9 months ago. I went and got one of these finally, bit the bullet. They are good, you know. They are on a plan. The only thing is, like with the EPIRB, it wasn't a plan or nothing, but these are, because they are run off satellite. But the best thing is no matter wherever I am, I'm going to get service with this. You got to get the phone app with it. So I'm just going to tell you the main things I've learnt from them, which are the main features that anyone else would pretty much use as well. But yeah, you can do two-way messaging. So when I signed up for it, I put in like emergency contact numbers, which obviously put in the old girl and her partner in that. So if you ever hit the SOS button, that's who's going to get told, you know, straight away. And you'll have emergency people come out for you. But the thing is with this one, I can let the old girl know, or let someone know where I am. So if I'm not in service, like, it's always good to, I don't know everywhere where I'm going to go, if I'm going to have service or not, until you actually get there. Some spots I do know, so I used to let mum know, you know, I'm going out of service. Could be out of service for weeks at a time, so anything can really happen in that week. But obviously having the personal beacon was a peace of mind for myself and that. But with this thing, when I'm out there, I can actually message out. So you get the phone app, Zolio phone app. So I get it. It's free app. It's free for anyone. So I have the device. Every one of your mates can have the Zolio app, and they can message you, and you can still message them. So it doesn't cost the other person, just the person with the actual unit itself, and I'll get more into the pricing and that for the plans. But yeah, so that's why I went this one, so I can let mum know, yep, I'm all good, you know, I've come here. Or actually, I didn't go to that spot I was telling you I was going to go to. I went to a different spot, you know, just little bits and pieces like that. It's handy to be able to message out, you know. It's a bit better than, I think, just hitting the button and, you know, you do hope someone's come. When you hit a button on this, if you can, you know, if you're not that injured, like, providing you can still press the SOS button, but that's a lot easier than trying to make a phone call, I think, on a satellite phone as well. So that's something else to take in consideration. But yeah, when you do press the SOS button, you have the choice to be able to communicate with the SOS crew. So you can let them know, oh yeah, I've been bitten by a snake, or I've broken my leg, or, you know, if anything happens that you still a conscience, you can still talk to them and give them an idea what's going on. Yeah, but another good thing about it is there is a thing on here where you can have it so it'll send out a message with coordinates every so often. Like you can set it, I think you can set it for every hour, or there's just different times. So if you're going out, if you knew you were going out of service for a long time, that's what I'd have straight on. So if I was in a crash or something like that, and I had no, you know, I couldn't physically hit the SOS button, I know that a coordinate has been sent to, mum or something like that, and she can have an idea like, oh, he hasn't moved for a while, what's going on here? He hasn't sent me a message, which I usually do. I let her know when I can. So that's a good thing to have, that means like if something bad's happened, I know there's a good chance someone's going to be coming. Even if I didn't hit that button with the EPIRB, it doesn't work like that. What else can I tell you about? So why I went the Zolio 2 over a satellite phone is the biggest reason is, one, I don't want to carry a phone everywhere with me. Yep, I know what you're thinking, like, oh, what happens if you break down and stuff like that? Well, if you break down, I can still message someone. Like, I have a mate that's mechanic, which is a bonus, but not only that, I can message the old girl, shit, I've just broken this, is there any chance you can sort it out for me on that end? I can still get that message out, so I know I can still get a message out there, and then it can be sorted that way, and then I can get a message back, and then, yeah, my mate or mum or anyone can tell me, oh, yep, something's been sorted for you. And so that's a good thing. And the other biggest thing is, because I do camp from the quad, I do camp from the boat, I had to have like something like this, small enough that can be strapped to me. It can go on the quad. I have a mount for it. I got the kit and everything with it, so it can be mounted on the quad. I can clip it on me. I like strapping it on my arm. That's the biggest thing, so when I am going fishing, it's on me. It's no good being sitting back on the quad. If something happens when I'm walking through the mangroves, walking anywhere up a creek or something like that, it's going to be a long one to back. If you break a leg or something like that, you're thinking, oh, it's no good. Even 20 meters is a long way if you've broken a leg, it's no good back at the quad. So it had to be small enough that it can attach to me as well, be on the quad when I'm on the quad, or it can be in the tinny when I'm in the tinny, or it also goes up on my dash on my ute. It's right there in front of me. I made sure of that, because that's what it's for. If something happens, it's no good saying then, oh, it should have been probably a bit closer to me. So this thing's small enough that it can attach to me, which I like. A few other features. It does have weather, which is probably a really big thing for me. I can always look up at the sky and stuff like that, but wind's probably something you can't really tell if it's coming or not. So it does on this app. It's not like a full-on bomb app. Won't have a big radar for you or anything like that, but gives you a percentage of if there's rain around or the wind. It will tell you the direction of the wind and that, and obviously an estimate of how strong it's going to be. So that'll tell me if I get to a spot. Oh yeah, dead still now, beautiful, but I've been in some spots where that afternoon she just comes up like a gale. So that'll just more tell me, oh yeah, instead of putting me awning out to the beach where the wind's going to be coming from, or whichever way it's going to come from, I'm just going to turn me setup around and not have me actual annex part facing towards the wind. I'll have it so it hits the side of the trailer where there's no awnings or anything, or I'll bunker down and get another spot or something like that. So the weather's a big thing for me. Well, it's my house, so I can't really pack it up and say I'm going home, as I am home. With your app, you'll have your app for your messaging and stuff like that. So that can be done in non-emergency type things, I guess. You can have your app with you. Oh, yep, that's when you want to message someone, or yep, check the weather. But if I am in the quad, or if I am going fishing and it straps me, you don't need your app. You don't need the app, or you don't need your phone on you. Just take your device. You're not taking the whole lot and going fishing and wanting to have a chat to someone, so you don't need all that. You just take the device, and if something bad happens, the SOS is always there. So my probably advice would be to, instead of having it turned off, if you're going in a spot where something could happen, just turn it on. Just leave it on, so that's not one thing else you're trying to, if something's happened to you and you're not all there, you got to try and hold the button down. You got to turn it on. Then you got to hit your SOS. You're better off just turning it on. It's on. Doesn't stuff all battery. They're pretty good actually. And I've got other ways of charging it as well that I got to show you as well. So the device is on, it's just a matter of flicking that little lid off and holding down that SOS button for 3 seconds, and Bob's your uncle. So biggest reasons why I went it is, yep, so I can communicate, I can message out, I can receive messages, I can check the weather, having a bit of an idea. It's still got an emergency button on it, and it's just the size, you know, it's nothing to it. There's really nothing to it. I think it's a lot easier to strap one of these on me than a satellite phone. If I am broken down on the side of the road and it's not an emergency, I can still message out on this. So like I said, I can still let someone know what's going on, and they can help arrange something for me, like a part, then they can get back to me and let me know. So it still pretty much does, you know, anything you really want it to. And yeah, like I said, it's just, there's nothing to it. The size is nothing. It's mobile. You can take it with you anywhere. Another thing, so when I did get it, I actually got them for a couple of reasons. One, I wanted to go the battery packs. So when I am on the quad, it's its own charging thing. I got little foldable fold up solar panels for it as well. So I know it's fully self-sufficient. This whole unit, it can charge itself. You know, it's got everything it needs. But also, I went these power packs because I was having troubles like with the GoPro batteries. Like, they last, but when I go fishing, I'd miss out on a lot of footage. This is total off subject, but I'd miss out on a lot of footage. So I went these little power packs. So what I do now is I get the power pack, I can drop it in my pocket, or I can duct tape it to a like a stick, you know, and then I just run a lead straight out of it, and I can plug it straight into the GoPro, and it can charge it at the same time I'm using it. So you got, you know, you got so many batteries in just one little pack. So as long as your SD card can keep up with the recording, well, you can record for a lot longer than what you can get out of just the one battery. So that's the reason why I went these little bad boys as well. And how I've changed me Spag into a rooftop tent, I also put the bigger one I got up here. So I got I think this is a 20,000 milliamp one. So this one just stays up inside the swag. I have a little portable, I think it's a 20 watt solar panel that I just stick over me swag, and that's what charges me phones off, you know. It saves me running different wires up into the thing. I just run one wire to run the fan, and then for me charging my phone or charging me light, it all just runs off USB. So that's why I got these little bad boys at the same time. I got it all from that Beam Communications, so down south. So, but yeah, so that's the Zolio, and that's why I choose it. I've been getting asked a lot of questions about it. Like I said, guys, I've pretty much just got this thing myself. Had me EPIRB for a long time, but they just they made that noise because I turned off the Zolio, and it's just told me on the app that it's disconnected. Cool. But yeah, it's so more advanced, you know. Like I said, I do pay for it. Give you an idea on the pricing and that. So with the pricing, I know there's like a lot of times that I'll think, oh, what am I going to need, you know, like I want to kind of get the plan I want to need. I don't want to spend no more, I don't want to spend no less. But what I actually did do was I went the unlimited, purely because I'm doing it full time, you know. It's not just weekends and that. I'm living on the road all the time, so I just went, I got $80 a month, and my plan for that, it is pretty much your messaging, so your satellite messaging. So with the $80 plan a month, I get unlimited, so it doesn't matter how many I send. I can send heaps of them, and it doesn't run out. Then you got like a middle one, it's In Touch, it's $55 a month, and you can get 250 messages. and once you use them up, it's 50 cents a message after that, you know, so that's a pretty good deal as well. Then you got the basic one, which is $32 a month. Now if you're only going out for, like, you know, weekends here and there, that would be good. You don't waste your messages. You're not just going to say, hey, how you going, what's for tea tonight, or something like that, you know. You want to actually use them up properly, so you just wouldn't waste them, and that'd do ya, I reckon. I might even get away with the $55 one. I'm not sure yet. That's why it's a trial and error for me. But for now, I just want to stick with the 80, because I'd rather be looking at free ones than looking for them. You know, even though they're only so much extra if you do go over. But yeah, so I don't know. That's how, if you're thinking about your plan, that's probably how you'd go about it, I reckon. Yeah. And also with your SOSs, like, they're unlimited no matter what plan you get, so don't think you only got so much a month for that. Like, although you don't really want to have to use the SOS, you know, but yeah, they're unlimited, so that's all right. Yeah, it doesn't matter how many times you got to hit it if you're an accident prone person. But yeah, I know I wouldn't have covered everything that this little thing does, you know. There is a few more things to it, but I just want to try and make it simple and less complicated. I know that's how I can understand things a bit more anyway, you know, a bit at a time. But if you do want to know anything else about it, just drop a comment, or if you've heard something else it does and you want to know, just, yeah, drop a comment and let me know, and I can possibly make up another quick little video about it. Yeah, I'm not sure what else. Yeah, I quite like it. Like I said, I've only had it for a little bit now, you know, long enough to know that it's going to suit me. And I've used it quite a few times now. Like I said, message the old girl, let her know the biggest thing is, like I said, I don't know when I'm going to be able to service, so it's so good not to worry about it. I'm not having to try and get to the next service just to let everyone know you're okay, and that it's just go with the flow. If you pull up, hell, if you pull up at a spot and it's got no service and you think, oh, I could actually stay here for, you know, a few nights or a week, it's where this comes in handy, because you can let someone know that you're okay. And I think a lot of people don't realise how little service this country does have when you're going out in the sticks and that. There's a lot of spots where there's no service, and I see a lot on Facebook about, oh, please keep an eye out for this vehicle, you know, last seen them there. And then you see people on posts and that saying, oh, I don't think there's any service there, so maybe they're okay, they've just pulled up because they've liked a spot. So that'd save a lot of, you know, worrying, and that if you had something like this or anything, just to let someone know that you're okay. But yeah, it has its advantages. So that's why I chose Zolio over, you know, my personal beacon and a satellite phone. So yeah, too easy. Let us know what you think of them anyway. I just was getting smashed by questions about it, especially on the old Facebook. But yeah, I just wanted to learn a little bit more about it myself before I can, you know, explain a little bit about it to you. Oh, then, too easy, guys. I'll do bits and pieces like this. If you see something in the background that you want to know about more, or have an idea about it, just drop a comment and I will try and get back to you, and I'll definitely make a little video about, try and make little videos about bits and pieces around camp. Too easy. Catch you, Zay.